Hey everyone, and welcome. Tonight we've got a massive NBA slate. And, trying to find the winning bets can feel like a total shot in the dark. But don't worry, we're here to cut right through that noise. We've got a sharp, data-driven look at our top 8 picks. So, let's just dive right in. Look, trying to sift through a dozen games to find the winners, that can feel like a full-time job. So, we've done all the heavy lifting for you, breaking down the matchups and the key stats that really matter. And hey, a quick shout out to our partners at MyStake and Vadada for making this analysis possible. You can find some awesome bonus links for them down in the description. And of course, if you find this breakdown helpful, hitting that like and subscribe button is a huge help for us. All right, let's get to our first group of picks. We're kicking things off with the handicap, or what most of you know as the point spread. This is all about picking the teams we think are going to win, and not just win, but win by a certain number of points. First up, we've got a fascinating rematch between the Atlanta Hawks and the Washington Wizards. What's great here is that these two just played each other, which gives us some really fresh, relevant data to work with. The last time these teams met, the Hawks were just completely dominant. I mean, they cruised to an easy win, and that was even after Jalen Johnson went down with an injury early in the game. It just goes to show you the massive gap in quality between these two squads right now. The Wizards really don't have an answer, and honestly, all signs are pointing to another big win for Atlanta. So, with that in mind, our pick isn't just for the Hawks to win the game. We're backing them to cover a 10.5-point spread. We really think they're going to win this one comfortably. Okay, next on the list, we're looking at the Chicago Bulls taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. And this is a classic story of two teams heading in completely opposite directions. Yeah, Chicago is in an absolute freefall right now. A 10-game losing streak tells you everything you need to know. It really looks like they've just checked out for the season. But on the flip side, you've got Portland playing with a ton of confidence, winning 5 of their last 8. It just makes sense to roll with the team that's hot, so our pick is the Portland Trail Blazers to cover that small negative 2.5 spread. All right, next up, a matchup with some big names, the Phoenix Suns versus the Los Angeles Lakers. But when you take a closer look at the rosters, you start to see a pretty significant advantage for one of these teams. The thing is, the Suns are really banged up at the moment. They're missing some key guys, and it's seriously hurting their ability to score. That's a huge problem when you're going up against a Lakers team that has plenty of firepower. With LeBron James and Anthony Davis leading the way, we fully expect the Lakers to have more than enough offense to lock down a solid win. So for this one, our pick is the Lakers minus 3.5. And for our final handicap pick, we've got the Los Angeles Clippers facing off against the Minnesota Timberwolves. This one really boils down to two things: roster depth and current form. Let's be honest, the Clippers just don't look like the same team after those February trades. Their depth took a real hit. And now they're running into a red-hot Timberwolves team that's won 4 of their last 5 games and, frankly, just has a deeper, more cohesive roster right now. Momentum and depth are both squarely on Minnesota's side, which makes the Timberwolves at minus 3.5 our clear pick here. Okay, let's switch gears. For our next set of picks, we're going to move away from who wins or loses and focus entirely on the total number of points scored in the game. We're talking about the over-under. First step in this category, we have the Brooklyn Nets versus the San Antonio Spurs. And this game for us, it's really all about one thing: defense. I mean, the Spurs' identity is built on their defense. They are a defensive juggernaut. They've held teams to under 100 points in 3 of their last 5 games. The Nets are basically walking into a buzzsaw here, and we think they're going to have a really, really tough time just putting points on the board. So when you combine San Antonio's incredible defense with Brooklyn's likely struggles on offense, all signs point to a pretty low-scoring game. We're feeling really confident taking the under on 226.5 total points. Next up, let's talk Dallas Mavericks versus the Sacramento Kings. Now, in this particular matchup, where these two teams are in their season is absolutely everything. Right, the key thing to understand here is motivation, or really the lack of it. Both of these teams are pretty much out of the playoff picture, so what does that usually mean at this point in the season? It means defense suddenly becomes optional. We're expecting a relaxed, wide-open, high-scoring game, which makes the over 232.5 a classic play in this kind of scenario. Okay, next, let's break down the Utah Jazz versus the New Orleans Pelicans. This game has a really unique mix of things going on: tanking, defense, and a huge injury. And all of them are pointing the total score in the same direction. You could say this game is the perfect storm for a low score. First, you've got two teams that seem to be tanking for better draft picks. Then you have the Pelicans' defense, which has actually tightened up a lot lately. But the real kicker is the injury report. The Jazz will be without their top scorer, Lauri Markkanen. That is a massive blow to their offense, and it makes the under 242.5 a very, very strong play. And for our final pick of the night, let's turn to the Orlando Magic and the Houston Rockets. This one is shaping up to be a physical, tough defensive battle. The Magic's offense is just not clicking without Franz Wagner, and on top of that, they're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the entire league. Now, pit that struggling offense against a Houston Rockets team that has a top 5 defense, and what do you get? Well, you've got the perfect recipe for a low-scoring game. We expect this to be a slow, grinded-out affair, making the under 216.5 our final pick of the night. Okay, that was a lot of information, so let's just pull it all together and do a quick recap. Here are 8 picks for tonight. For the point spreads, we're taking the Hawks minus 10.5, the Blazers minus 2.5, the Lakers minus 3.5, and the Timberwolves minus 3.5. And for the totals, we're on the under in 3 different games: Nets, Spurs, Jazz, Pelicans, and Magic, Rockets. Our one overbet is in that Mavericks-Kings game. And there you have it. That's our complete breakdown for tonight's NBA action. A huge thank you one more time to MyStake and Vadada. Remember to check out those bonus links for them in the description. And hey, if you got some value out of this analysis, please do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more. But now we want to hear from you. After listening to all our picks, what is your most confident bet for tonight's games? Drop your number 1 pick in the comments below. Let's see what you've got. Good luck with all your bets, and we'll see you next time.